So once again, this shows we are living in an era, a time period where, because of teachers and the government and the media and whatever, people who think like this have become more emboldened that, oh, well, I consider what you're saying hate speech, so I'm going to go after you and, try to get your videos removed. So Japanese YouTuber claims video criticizing Assassin's Creed Shadows gameplay struck down 12 times for hate speech. Listen, you people on the left, just because you don't like what someone has to say doesn't mean it's hate speech. Okay? It's not hate speech. I don't know what your fucking blue-haired teachers are telling you, but clearly some of that hair dye is sinking into their fucking brains and making them stupid. Hate speech doesn't exist. Okay? That was something you people made up. All speech it's just that, speech. Whether you like it or not, it's speech. And in America, you have the right to speak. Okay? The only time, even if it goes across that and you start threatening people, for me personally, that would be the limit when people's lives are being possibly at risk, because according to you people, inciting violence, words can incite violence. So when someone steps over that line and says, oh, well, I hope this happens, or yeah, it's free speech, but inciting violence. But it's free speech. There's no hate speech. Just because you disagree with it doesn't give you the right to go after someone. Grow the hell up. But this is the YouTuber. His name is Shohei Kondo. Ubisoft's Assassin's Creed Shadows has been under fire for months, but the controversy has now escalated into censorship allegations. Japanese YouTuber Shohei Kondo had his gameplay critique of Assassin's Creed Shadows removed from YouTube, reported 12 times, with hate speech cited. Now, this is most likely true because... So when it comes to takedowns, you get an email about it, but even stuff like this. So you'll come down here, you'll see add limit suitability, view feedback, and it'll tell you why it happened. For this case, it says, it gives you the time. Now, this one is actually stupid because it's her talking about how she was a cam worker, how she digitally stripped. And that's apparently adult content. She didn't show anything. She didn't do a demonstration. She just said that she was a cam worker, digitally stripping. And they deemed it. There was also another one where I started off the video saying, I'm here with my esteemed co-counsel Roxas, who is actually right there. And they said, adult language or whatever within the first 4 seconds when I said esteemed co-counsel Roxas. But they let you know what it was. In this case, even with a video takedown, they'll usually give a timestamp of the problem. So flashbang, it's like logging on to Genshin, poof, in your face. But yeah, they will give you a timestamp and whatever else. Usually in the email, they usually let you say, oh, hey, we've received word. We've taken this action. Sometimes they'll say, oh, you have this amount of time to remove it. If not, then we will remove it ourselves and give you a strike. Sometimes they'll just give you a strike, depending on. But, yeah. 12 times and saying it's hate speech, I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised. Because this is the kind of culture we're living in now. Just because you don't like speech, people have been emboldened to oh, well, I'm just going to silence you. You know who used to silence people they didn't like? Yeah. You know how the left constantly claims that the right are the Nazis? The left are the ones participating and taking part in the very same thing that the Nazis were known for. Shutting down their opposition, ratting people out to the government, or whoever. They do everything they accuse the right of doing. So they want to sit here and say, you know, it hates speech and then report you because of it. That's how fascists work. They can't handle the criticism. They can't handle the words. So well, you need to be dealt with. Kondo's video contains no hate speech whatsoever. I've actually pulled up. We'll watch some of it. It's 14 minutes long, and I'm not gonna. I mean, it's all right here. It's on Twitter, Shohei Kondo. If you want to watch the full 14 minutes, instead it features a detailed critique of Ubisoft's portrayal of Japanese culture, pointing out numerous inaccuracies. As a Japanese guy, I think he would know better than some French people what Japan is actually like. But nope. Nope. Let's not trust the Japanese. No, the French know exactly how Japanese people are. Especially the French know exactly how Japan was during the feudal era. So you don't know what you're talking about, Mr. Japanese man. The French do, though. Pointing out numerous inaccuracies and offensive choices in the flora and PC designs, and even the protagonist's attire. The repeated takedowns, whether the direct work of Ubisoft or not, have been perceived as an attempt to silence legitimate criticism from a Japanese content creator standing up for his culture, right there, against a French company's misrepresentation. This company is French. They're fucking French. And apparently they seem to think they know more about the Japanese than the Japanese. The fucking balls these people think they have, the gall these people think they have to kind of dictate and try to assume that insist that they know more about Japan than Japan does. And the people, if it is some kind of, outside of the company, and it is to think that some, it's like when white people try to stand up for black people. When you have a black person outward saying, I don't need you to stand up for me. And the person's like, no, you don't know what you're talking about. This is exactly the same thing. This person, whoever it is, multiple people, thinking they know more about Japan than Japan. The fucking audacity of these people. In the video, Kondo highlights glaring inaccuracies of Ubisoft's depiction of feudal Japan. He critiques everything from unrealistic foliage to poorly designed Japanese NPCs. Many of them are depicted shoeless and tattered, contrast with Yasuke, the black samurai protagonist, striding through the streets in opulent golden armor. Just as I'm sure he did back in the day. Because I'm sure Yasuke was known for his feudal drip. Drip, as the kids are saying these days. I'm sure he had that ancient feudal Japan riz going on. And while all these commoners were just, oh, I don't have shoes, this guy was like, oh, look at my gold armor. He didn't wear, he was a bodyguard. Far from being inflammatory, Kondo's critique was rooted in cultural pride and constructive feedback, making the takedown even more troubling. Yeah, just because you don't like what they have to say doesn't mean it's hate speech. Hypnotic. The censorship sparked outrage in the gaming community, with fellow YouTubers like rushing to Kondo's defense. Content creator Hypnotic commented, YouTuber and content creator Shohei Kondo gets his Assassin's Creed Shadows videos removed for hate speech from YouTube. They're actively trying to suppress real Japanese voices from speaking out against Ubisoft, even when it's done in a constructive way like Shohei did. Insane. I am sure they will continue to target more Japanese and non-Japanese creators. The backlash against Ubisoft hasn't stopped there. Kondo also criticized the graphics and gameplay. And this is a game, the people were like, oh my god, look at how, yeah, the dog. how the dog glitches out. You can't even you're apparently able to pet the dog, but then it doesn't work. Someone was talking about it, and they showed some footage from it. Like, oh my god, you can cut look how you can cut through the bamboo, and it's like games were doing this 20 years ago. This isn't exactly stunning visually or innovative. People were doing this 20 years ago in games. I mean, when you're trying to promote a game and make it look good, and the best you can come up with is, look how they cut through the bamboo. Okay, games 20 years ago did it better. What's your point? The company's apparent inability to handle constructive criticism was on display recently when the official Assassin's Creed Twitter account responded to another YouTuber, Nick Tech, who pointed out bugs in the graphics. But let's see what he has to say.
Living in Europe and America as a Japanese, I do understand the idea of Asian. I do understand how we are seen and how invisible we are. But you know what? I won't shut up. Every time I post about the Assassin's Creed Shadow video game, I always get hate comments like calling me racist, and some people say like all Japanese are racist. And why you care about the historical accuracy or blah blah blah, or you don't like that because of Black Samurai. Really? You really don't see the disgracing for Asian people and Japanese culture in this game? We have Afro Samurai, there's no backlash, and yes, there's a historical inaccuracy, but what we care is that respect. How can you say they can teach history of Japan doing this kind of stupid things? Hope I say it right. And today, Joe Raptor, I don't know how to pronounce. And I'm not sure if he likes Japan or he knows this controversy. I'm sure he knows. But pretending not knowing or he works for Ubisoft, I hope he watches this video. Because he looks like using Japanese armor, right? There's a lot of people like this. Oh my god, like a lot of hate comments towards the Japanese. On my channel, like saying Japanese are racist. They use anime for the icon. What does it mean? Or Pokemon. And Japanese really don't like this game. Always, all trailers, dislike is higher than likes. Today I wanna check gameplay. It's a freaking 3 hours. I mean, what kind of armor he's wearing?
There's a lot going on here.
I mean, yes, that's a lot of things going on, for sure. Oh, he changed to Naoe?
Particular, drop it in the chat. Look how fast she is.
That's the sales point. Naoe run fast. Good to know. That's pretty sad, like this guy's promoting shadows.
Like what they are. Grab it, put it away.
Japanese ladies are not wearing shoes. And the Yasuke wearing gold.
Like actual one of a kind.
Wait, is this game really coming out in 2 months later? Or 1 month?
I am honored.
Looks underdeveloped.
Okay,
Still.
I'm honored that you...
Yeah, this game is really ugly. Look at the sakura tree. It's like a fantasy world.
I mean, I can't even... she's bowing.
Why she's bowing?
Okay, let's...
Why?
And let's see if we can like...
But people doesn't bow to Naoe, right?
Yeah,
Even she has katana.
that you can then get as drops earlier.
Why?
But look at-
Is that
okay,
bug
so
or
first
it's
mission
really
you actually
fast?
have to do that.
But it looks like a
Then
bug
wanna
for some reasons.
conquer-
I seen a previous video, but why all of them has such a narrow forehead? Is that Japanese face? Narrow forehead? I don't know why. It looks like old Chinese, like a Chinese philosopher or something. Narrow forehead. Narrow forehead.
So you get the gist here. This is his commentary, and as you can see, nothing he's saying is hate speech. Nothing he's saying is hate speech. He's commenting on what the game looks like, how they're moving, how like person's bowing to Yasuke, but not the other. How people don't seem to have shoes on, and he's just calling out inaccuracies. That isn't hate speech. People always acting like the Japanese are super racist. Yeah, we got Barrett right here. When you jump into Final Fantasy VII, one of the first characters apart from Cloud that you interact with is Barrett. Barrett is a black man in a Final Fantasy game. Final Fantasy is made in Japan. Could someone please says, look, underdeveloped. This needs that needs to be what we share at every AAA game studio's trailers from here on. The censorship push and hate speech allegations are ridiculous, beyond idiotic. Quadruple K game studios, everyone. Not a single hateful word or tone in this. Yeah, he was very... I mean, obviously, it doesn't seem like English is his first language, but he was very clear with his thoughts. He didn't say anything wrong. You know, he's not swearing or you know, whatever. He's just saying, yeah, that Japan, it wasn't like that. Oh, why is he wearing that? That makes no sense. Why is she bowing? And someone reported for 12 times for hate speech. This is what happens when we have an entire generation of people who have been raised to think that this sort of cancellation or reporting of people is okay just because they had their feelings hurt. People will call him racist and bigoted anyways. And even when coming at it not from a place of hate or any insinuation of the sort, the developers instead will cry victim. Yeah. You made it 100% apparent to me that there was not one Japanese voice in the room when they made this game. Great video, very informative. I hope YouTube stops messing with you. Yeah, I mean, any comments? Money with the keyboard never disappoints. When you allow the government to censor hate, yeah, you allow the government to decide what speech is hate speech. Exactly. We're living in a generation where, you know, TikTok is a huge arbiter of this kind of crap. You know, the government, the media saying, oh, well, this is hate speech. This isn't. Who are you to determine what's hate speech and what isn't? Just because it hurts your feelings doesn't mean it's hate speech. Okay? It doesn't mean it's hate speech. Grow the fuck up. So, I mean, I hope this guy, if this person is in fact the one doing it, this raptor dude, you know, some kind of ramification of that, to where he can get his video back. But yeah, just because you don't like it, you don't like what someone has to say, doesn't mean it's hate speech. It doesn't mean it's hate speech. Again, I don't know what your Kool-Aid hair teacher, your professor told you. I don't know what the media told you. But that's not how speech works. That's not how speech works. So if you don't like the speech, you can go online. Guess what? If you don't like the speech that someone else is saying, guess what? You can go online and complain about it. You can go online and your own hate speech directed towards that person. Because that's the great thing about speech. But you don't have a right to try to take down a video just because you disagree with what someone said. But this is the modern era we're living in. This is modern gaming. This is modern politics. Oh, I don't like what you said, so I'm just going to claim it's hate speech. Grow up. But anyway, that's going to do for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.